Hi, everybody. Wendy Nystrom with Environmental Social Justice. Today we had a very special guest. We had Michelle Adelman. She is with 𝒒𝒐𝒏𝒈, but she also has a company called 𝒍𝒐𝒏𝒈. And today we went to Botswana and we did an interview as she walked around her farm and introduced us to her people. So we didn't do a proper intro like you're used to seeing, so I'm going to be adding this one in the beginning just as an introduction. But it's an amazing interview, and it starts off with the most beautiful welcome song from her growers. So please tune in and watch all the way through. There's a lot of important information in there. Take it.
Yeah, she's going to start now.
That is the best introduction environmental social justice has ever had. I'm Wendy Nystrom, your host with ESJ. We welcome back Miss Michelle Adelman. She was originally with us with 𝒒𝒐𝒏𝒈. She still has the company, but her next endeavor is called 𝒍𝒐𝒏𝒈. It is all about the farmers in sub-Saharan Africa, and you just heard a greeting from her growers welcoming us to their farm. So welcome back, Michelle.
Hey, great. Thanks so much for having us. We're dialing in from the northern part of Botswana. So anybody who's actually gone on safari in Botswana probably has come through our little town called 𝒉𝒈. It's way up in the northern part of the country, and it's the operations hub for the safari industry. We'll give you a little tour of the farm, but it's great to have it. Great to be live, and this will be fun. We're doing this, live and in person. So
I know, it's crazy. It's so awesome. I love technology. So please take us on a tour.
Okay, great. So I'm here with 𝒒𝒐𝒏𝒈 and 𝒍𝒐𝒏𝒈, two of our leader supervisors. So I think one of the things we talked about on our first podcast is how the farm is entirely run by young leaders from our community. And so 𝒍𝒑 and 𝒒𝒐𝒏𝒈 are key parts of the team. 𝒒𝒐𝒏𝒈 leads all of our marketing and sales and interacts with our customers on a daily basis. And 𝒍𝒑 is responsible for all the growing operations. So as we give you the tour around, you're going to see all this beautiful produce that she and the growers work tirelessly on here. And Edward's around here somewhere. He's our maintenance leader. He's responsible for all of our infrastructure and keeping our greenhouse beautiful and all of our grounds. So we'll see if he's not shy. Matter of fact, I'll take you out here. I don't know if you can see him, but this is actually the traditional way that people cross the river. So this is the Tamakalani. This is the Tamakalani River. It is one of the last tributaries that flows out of the Okavango Delta before it kind of peters out in the Kalahari Desert. So I know the sun is coming up there, but I don't know if you can see. Eddie is on the stand-up Mokoro, which is a shallow canoe, and he's taking one of the growers here across the river. And this is how most of our employees cross over on a daily basis. The only thing, they're always complaining because there's actually a lot of crocodiles and hippos in the river. So they're always complaining and want me to buy them a boat. But we haven't broken down and gotten a motorboat yet. But it can be a little dangerous to cross the river. But so far so good. We're really good. A couple of years ago, we had a resident hippo who liked to break onto the farm and eat all of our spinach. But
well, of course,
he's been around for a while. So I thought I'd show you a little bit about our growing operations and what we have here. See some Revive, if you want to come, I'm going to go the tunnels up to the greenhouse. So what we have, I'm going to get hit by the sprinklers. What we have at Go Fresh, I mean, we are in the Kalahari Desert, right? So it's very, very arid. More than 90% of Botswana is technically the Kalahari. Less than 2% of the land is actually technically arable. So what we've done is to try to introduce, technology that's pretty common that we see around the States. I mean, I think everybody who goes and gets fresh produce these days in the supermarket is buying hydroponic lettuce and hydroponic tomatoes. And so we brought that technology with us to Botswana so that we can grow in this very arid environment, and we can grow 365 days a year. So we use 3 different techniques depending on the crop that we're growing and the kind of value that we get from that crop, as well as sorry, I'm like stepping on the thorns. The value of the crop. So let me just see, hopefully I can see this and I'm not pointing my phone at the ground. Hey, Revive.
No, it looks great.
In that tunnel. So we have these tunnels that are covered with plastic and shade net, and we actually grow in the soil with irrigation. So here's some green peppers that we've been growing. We had a big harvest this morning, so you don't see too many peppers on the plants. But here in these tunnels, we use drip irrigation. So each plant is irrigated individually, which allows us to control the amount of irrigation it gets and is very water conservative. And then the plastic tunnel provides some level of protection from the sun, from the birds, from pests. And so kind of our medium value crops like tomatoes and peppers, we grow in these tunnels. And then we'll show you some of the lower value crops and then ultimately into our greenhouse. So we also grow, so a lot of our customer base is both the safari industry as well as the local market. So this tunnel, for example, is full. Yep. This is the beautiful. All right. The girls are saying that I have to go see the lettuce, the beautiful lettuce. So we're going to go over here and check out our lettuce tunnel. You'll see we have firewood piled up here because we're just finishing winter. And at night, we actually burn fires to protect the plants and keep them warm.
Oh, that's cool.
So we make a little fireplace for them. But here is one of our tunnels where we're growing lettuce and herbs for the safari industry. So this is not this is in the soil with sprayers. And so this is one of the other techniques that we use. So behind us in this area, outside the tunnel, we grow about 12 different types of culinary herbs for the safari industry. And then we grow lots of lettuce, both here and you'll see more in the greenhouse. So we try to match the technique that we use with the crop. And so, because different techniques are more expensive or less expensive to operate. And so we try to match that with the crop and the kind of money that we make. So, for example, you'll see here between this tunnel and our greenhouse, we're growing some cabbages. These are just done with drip lines out in the open field. And so it kind of reflects, we plant them, we kind of try to keep them weeded, but otherwise largely ignore them for 3 months. So that, and they've just, this field has just been harvested. Hopefully you can see our fantastic scarecrow over there. Our scarecrows all have a lot of personality. The the guys build the scarecrows, so they always have big butts, as it turns out. But
Well, they gotta have something, right?
it's an African thing, right? And so, all right, so we are walking in. So this is our greenhouse. So this is a this is a greenhouse. Hey, Revive, could you pop off those fans, maybe? You just flip them off, so you guys can hear. So this is literally a world-class greenhouse that's sitting here in the middle of northern Botswana. It's a polycarbonate structure there's cemented into the ground with 220 steel pillars. And we use primarily drip irrigation, but we also use what they call deep water culture. So you'll see this in the U.S. in certain places like Bright Farms is one of the farms that uses this. If you see Bright Farms produce in your grocery store, but basically, this is a big, deep swimming pool, and the lettuce is basically growing right into the swimming pool, and the water is very cool, which makes the lettuce happy. And then it's use these styrofoam rafts, basically cover up the top, and then the lettuce grows on the top. And then when we harvest it, we literally pull it. We just harvest the whole thing with the roots on. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah, that was great.
My phone, I'm doing it backwards. So this way we have a living lettuce, and this is really great for the safari industry because this lettuce is still alive because it still has its roots on. Yeah. And when they bring it into the safari camps, it's still alive and it'll last for a really long time. So, and then the rest of the greenhouse is set up with different types of crops. So here we've got cucumbers that are just wrapping up the winter season. And then if you go further down, we've got tomatoes and cherry tomatoes. We have to show off. I think Cece harvested all of our heirloom tomatoes this morning, but our heirloom tomatoes are our pride and joy. They're really beautiful. And, something unique and special that we do for the safari industry. So they can here, in the middle of nowhere, when you come on safari, you can have like really amazing fresh produce, as good or better quality than you would actually get at home. So this gives you a sense of what the inside of our greenhouse looks like. Here are some new cucumbers coming up. And so we have about 6 growers who work here in the greenhouse on a daily basis, maintaining it. It has a pad and fan cooling system, an internal shade net, and a polycarbonate cover. So this structure is literally hurricane proof. Not that we have any hurricanes in Botswana, but
well, you never know.
You never know. You never know what's going to happen. It does get awful windy. So this greenhouse we really preserve for our highest value crop. So, our deep lettuce pond, our cucumbers, cherry tomatoes is primarily what we grow in the greenhouse because those are our highest value crops and they need the most protection. And then in the tunnels, we'll grow peppers and tomatoes. And some more lettuce. And then in the open field area, we grow our herbs, our cabbages. And so we kind of tier down how we grow, use different growing techniques to match what we do. And so this whole farm uses about 2% of the water that you would use if you were farming these products in any other way, because we're using very precise irrigation and very judicious use of water, even in our cooling system. So like this whole greenhouse, including the pad wall that keeps the greenhouse cool, uses less than 10,000 liters of water a day. So given that there are like, I don't know, 5,000 plants in here, it's not so bad.
That's a very effective use of water, which is very precious everywhere nowadays.
Yeah. So anyway, I took a little longer, but I wanted to give you guys a sense on what it looks like here. Anybody who's coming on safari in Botswana, give us a call. Come for a visit.
No. I love everything that you guys are doing, especially with bringing, food supply to an area that's rather arid and dry.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi, Jane.
So you started this to actually solve the food scarcity that you were witnessing.
Yeah. So, when I first moved to Botswana, I think we might have talked about it on the last podcast. A lot of what I was trying to do is look for ways of creating employment for women and for youth. And we wanted to use technology as a catalyst for change and a way of creating a new industry where it didn't exist before. And so hence, now my real focus on food and ag. Here in Maun, before we came into the market, almost all the fresh produce was being imported from Johannesburg, which is literally like a 12-hour truck drive. So by the time the produce got here, it was, first of all, it had to be like tomatoes had to be picked before they were ripe in order to be able to make to be transported. And fresh produce loses a huge amount of its nutrients in the first 3 days after it's been harvested. So we actually, the food that got here was not very nutritious. It wasn't fresh. It wasn't healthy. Sorry, the pad wall is turning on because the fans turn off. So this whole thing is like it's all computer controlled. So we turned off the fans so it'd be quieter. So the pad wall kicked in to cool it down.
Hey, that's technology working right there.
That's technology working. The computer's working even when we tried to get it to stop. So now, what we've done, and I think one of the things that we're really proud of is, we haven't just innovated how we grow, but we've actually innovated our business model as well. So we pick fresh daily and deliver to our customers daily, which is something that was never really done before. And it really makes our customers really dependent on us because they've changed their storage, they've changed their buying habits, and they're used to now getting their produce on a daily basis. And the bad news is we now have to make sure we deliver on a daily basis on time, because otherwise
that's a good problem to have. It's a very good problem to have.
Yeah. So I thought, if you don't mind, I thought maybe we'd let Cece and Revive talk to just a few minutes to each of them about kind of what Go Fresh means to them from their perspective and what it means to the community from their perspective. So it's not just me talking. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll hand it over to you.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Cece.
Nice to meet you, Cece.
Yes, and then I'm responsible for sales and marketing for Go Fresh. I started working here in 20.
Oh dear. I think we lost our connection, folks.
2018.
My dad is calling.
Sorry. Oh,
we lost you for a quick second there when Cece first started walking. I do apologize. We seem to have an unstable connection inside the greenhouse.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna walk out. We're gonna walk outside because it's a little noisy in here.
So I was saying I started working here in 2018. No, 2016. Yeah, and then I graduated in 2015. So Go Fresh have given me like a really, really good opportunity to kind of apply what I learned in school. So with the unemployment rising and everything, I feel very lucky to be part of Go Fresh and doing this very exciting thing. And it's very exciting to be in sales and marketing, interacting with customers, getting to know what they want, and delivering good quality. And and I'm very proud that, and I can proudly say we produce quality here.
That's fantastic.
Yes, so it's very nice to be in Go Fresh. And then the other thing about Go Fresh is in our community, there is a lot of unemployment rate. So I think Go Fresh has offered like an opportunity to most of the people around who are not working, and they are very and so I think it's kind of giving back to the community in that way of employing. So, and I can say most of the workers here are ladies and they are single mothers. So
that's important.
I think we are really, really playing a very good role in the community here.
Absolutely. No, I love the fact that you're employing women and giving them financial independence.
Yes.
And solving food scarcity all at once. And
all at once, yes.
And learning the marketing. Marketing's not easy.
It's not easy, but it's very fun and exciting, especially if you're sure about your produce and you're definitely confident about what you produce. So It's very good.
That's wonderful news. I love everything you guys are doing.
That's great.
Thank you.
Revive, do you want to turn at talking about Go Fresh?
Okay.
Hello.
I'm
Very
good.
nice to meet you.
You're talking to Revive. I'm the head grower. I'm the one who runs the production at Go Fresh. So Go Fresh to me, I'm so excited. I was so excited, and I'm still excited, and I hope there's more excitement that is still to come because of Go Fresh. I started working in Go Fresh in 2019, and what I can say with this side, especially, I'm from Zimbabwe, so. I'm from Zimbabwe, so I was very fortunate to see soon after my graduation from college, Michelle, which I'm always talking about her. She had to employ me, and that was my first job soon after my graduation. And I was so excited to be employed by Go Fresh because I went to school to do horticulture, and it was a great privilege for me to get a job that is very relevant to what I did to school. Because if I'm to look at other people that went to school to do what I did, some of them, they're not even doing what I did. Some of them, they're even selling things on the streets. Some of them, they're even indulging into other businesses that are very irrelevant to what they went to school for. So for me, it was a very great privilege. And I still enjoy, and I'm enjoying being part of Go Fresh. And another exciting thing that happened when I joined Go Fresh, I had not known about hydroponics. I was always learning it in the books at school, getting to know what is hydroponics. I'm just being told that you're not using soil, you're using water. So then I was so excited to get to see what is hydroponics. And if I'm to tell right now, if somebody is to wake me from nowhere and ask me, what is hydroponics? What are you doing? I'm able to answer that when I'm just from a work up. So Go Fresh for me, when I'm to talk about community, it has really, really provided a good opportunity for most of the ladies that are around here, because if you are to find that, like what Sisi has mentioned before, they are single mothers, and some of them, they are not supported by the husbands, or some of the women that are working to support their extended families, which is a very rare thing to say in a society. You would want to be supported by a husband. You would want you would want a person who's a man to support you instead of a woman to support an extended family. You get it? So when it's like that, Michelle is given a great opportunity of employment to a lot of women that are inbound, and it's really good because they have something that they can spend time on, unlike when you are not doing anything. And Go Fresh, we are talking about quality, freshness. We are talking about how close is it to town. We always deliver to people good quality produce. We always deliver to people freshness. We always deliver to people what they want on the what they want on a basic daily day. That's why Sisi has mentioned before that it's a Go Fresh is an area that is so exciting to be. So that's all that I have to see.
I am so happy that you guys that you guys all found each other, that Michelle found you and you guys found Michelle, and that you guys are creating this empire. I mean, it is a food empire, and hydroponics are the way of the future. We're running out of soil, so we got to learn something new. And you guys are doing that.
Yes, that's so true. Okay.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Wendy. So we're going to wander up. Hopefully, we'll keep the connection here. We're going to wander up to the porch, and we can have a little porch chat and answer any of your questions or talk anything about, I don't know, whatever you want.
No, I'm so freaking proud of you for what you've done. I mean, you have created something monumental. You've provided, a resource for food, solving food scarcity in an arid, dry climate where things don't generally grow very well. You're providing independence for women, which is probably, me personally, what I find to be the most important. Because as Revive was saying, a lot of women, they look for the men to support them. They look for, to be taken care of. And you're providing them the opportunity to be completely independent, support their families if needed, and have that freedom.
Well, I mean, to be really honest, I don't really do any of the work. So, it really is, it really is a team effort. And, it's amazing to see what's happened with our team and with our growers when we empower them. And one of the things that we've kind of gone through, after COVID was really a stressful time for everyone. I mean, even though you would think everybody wants food, they didn't want expensive, they didn't want high quality food. And the tourism industry, really suffered here. The camps were closed for almost 2 years. And so our business we went through a really difficult time. And we've just gone through kind of an exercise where we've kind of done an upside down pyramid where we put the growers at the top, then the supervisors, and I'm somewhere at the bottom of the pile. But it's amazing to see how, when you're able to empower, women, and I mean, most of these ladies probably have the equivalent of between a 9th and 12th grade education. When you empower them and say, look, you know what to do, this is your team, your role. And even with Revive and CC here, I mean, we just came out of a meeting where we were discussing some HR issues that, they've got to make some decisions about, how we're going to go about dealing with key HR issues. Honestly, I just make them do the work and I stand back and applaud.
You offer guidance. You offer guidance. But we had, oh God, I'm so overwhelmed with how much you guys are doing. It is mind blowing what you've accomplished in such a short period of time. I mean, just to have the greenhouses, the tunnels, the food, and also the nutritious food. Most people don't know that when you pick fruit that's still green, that includes tomatoes. Tomatoes are a fruit. If it's still green, it's not going to have its full nutritional value if it's not vine ripened. And that most people don't realize. And most of our fruit here in the US is picked green because it's easier to ship.
Yep. No, it's exactly right. And it's interesting. We fight with the market a lot because we don't want to pick they have this fancy name for tomatoes that are unripe and they call them champagne.
Oh, Lord.
Well, but that's what, and it's so hard to change people's behavior, right? Because we're used to working in a market where, again, the produce was trucked in. And so people think they need these champagne tomatoes because they think that's what they need to make them have long shelf life. But they don't realize if you have a ripe tomato and it was fresh picked, it has, our product has just as good shelf life as, an unripe tomato that's been trucked in over multiple days and stored. So, but changing people's behavior, it's hard everywhere. So, but CC tries really hard.
CC's doing a fantastic job. And, you have a team that's remarkable. I mean, just pulling everybody together. And I really want to come visit.
Come visit. Everybody's welcome.
Maybe next winter for you guys when it's not so hot, because I'm a wimp when it comes to really hot weather.
Yeah. No.
But what do you see for the, because I don't want to keep you too long. What's the future of Go Fresh? Where would you like to see this accelerate to?
Well, we're in a really interesting position because I think, post-COVID, one of the things the Botswana government realized was that the border was strategic, right? So, this is a country that is basically surrounded on all sides: Namibia, South Africa, a little bit of Zambia, a little bit of Zimbabwe, and so it's an island, if you like, and because it's a desert economy, the economy's primarily been driven by diamonds. Trade and importing everything from food to clothes, whatever, was just the way you did things. And I think with COVID, the government finally realized that the border is actually a strategic asset, because at the beginning of COVID, we actually didn't have any COVID in Botswana. And we had a couple of cases that had come in from tourists, but those got, quarantined and handled quite quickly. And then all the COVID came in on the truck drivers from South Africa. So suddenly, we realized that this border that we thought was so commonplace was actually a national security threat, right? Because it was basically bringing COVID into the country. And so as of January 1st, the import of most fresh vegetables has been banned. So now to really put pressure on us and local farmers to produce what we need to produce and to feed the nation. And it's really with technology like this that's going to make that happen. So we are looking for an expansion project. We've been recently allocated another 5 hectares, which is about 12 acres of land, which is just on the other side of this fence that we're looking to develop. And so we're really looking to continue what we do and to scale up, to continue to provide a really differentiated product and a differentiated business model, and continue to serve our community. I mean, just this morning, we do make quite a bit of donations through our foundation, the Impact Fund, which anybody can follow what we do at travelforimpact.com. And through the Impact Fund, we support a number of nonprofit organizations in this community, including Women Against Rape, which is an advocacy group that provides counseling for gender-based violence and counseling for couples, as well as a safe house for women. So Cece, you just delivered to them yesterday. Yeah. So we deliver and provide fresh produce to them, along with a number of other organizations in our community. So if people are interested in the kind of impact that we're making through the foundation, they can see what we're doing at travelforimpact.com.
And they can donate if they wanted to help support?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Donations accepted, folks.
Donations accepted.
How about investors? Are you guys looking for investors to help grow you out?
Yeah, we were actually, it's one of the things that I've been really thinking about, which is, there's so much innovation. And one of the things that's hard is, you build this and then you've got to keep it fresh. And so one of the things that we've been looking for is both a partner, potentially from one of the U.S. Hydroponic operations that would kind of adopt us, think of us as a sister city, to help make sure that we're really staying on top of the latest and greatest in terms of technology, LED lighting, pest control practices, and so forth. So we're always open for technical, assistance and support. We've had a really great internship program with Cornell for a number of years before COVID, where we had Cornell students who came and spent the winter with us, their summer, our winter on the farm. But we are also looking to invest to expand the new extension. And it's definitely, it's not for the faint of heart. It's a long-term play. It's definitely a strategic investment. So if there's anybody out there, we're always all ears when it comes to investment.
Oh, absolutely. And what you guys are doing, I mean, you're helping people, you're providing food, you're providing freedom, equality, jobs, employment. I mean, it's, in my opinion, and I'm not a financier, it sounds like a good bet to me.
Well, if you want to make an impact, it's very rewarding, and we have a little fun. We have a little fun along the way.
And it looks like
now that our singing and dance contests are in full motion, we're
best intro ever that we've had on this show. I'm not lying. Best intro I've ever had here. But I'm going to thank you because I know it's coming up to the half-hour mark, and I know that you guys have a lot of work to do. You guys are, you're small and feisty, but you're going to grow. Anything you want to leave us with before you head out? Other than that gorgeous sunset that you have behind you?
The gorgeous sunset. Yeah, we can give you the sunset. No, I mean, I think, look, this type of investing is not easy. And I think that, we appreciate the moral support that comes our way. And I do think that we've got, it's really about engaging our youth and in the solution, right? Like I said, I couldn't do this on my own. There's no way I could do this without the support of Revive and Cece and Edward, wherever he's hiding. Apparently he doesn't want to be on camera. And the growers who really do the hard work every day and make this happen and make an impact in, not only for themselves, but for their community. And I think I'm really proud of them.
I love it. I'm so proud of everything that you have done and the group that you have. The group that you've accumulated and brought in, they're phenomenal. They really are phenomenal human beings.
They're phenomenal.
Great job, guys. And Edward, wherever you are,
And Eddie, wherever you are, he's going to claim that he had to take that guy across on the 𝒂𝒎💊💏.
Oh, yes. No, we'll get him next time.
All right.
So thank you so much for your time, guys.
Thanks for having us, Wendy.
Absolutely. And guys, Michelle Adelman, she's with Go Fresh, also 𝒍𝒐𝒏𝒈. Help her out, donate to the cause, look to invest. It's a good bet. I'm Wendy Nystrom with Environmental Social Justice. You guys have a great day.
Great.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Thank you.